here. Hey guys, welcome to the Beachbody Rockstar Call. Happy New Year. I am so excited that it's 2017 and hopefully you are just as excited. 2016 was a fabulous year for our team, but I'm even more excited about 2017, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how we can have an amazing year. So again, I'm so very glad all of you are on the call right now, and let's see here. So let me get started. I'm going to get our PowerPoint up, and we'll get started. So exciting. I want to welcome you to 2017 and all the fun that 2017 brings. If you're new to the Beachbody Rockstars, that's awesome. We are so glad to have you. And this is such an exciting time to be a part of the Beachbody Rockstars. Usually on our calls, we talk about events, we give some updates, and then we do some training. And then lastly, we do some homework. So not like bad homework, but homework that kind of helps you stay on top of things and where you need to be. So anyway, so we're very excited to have you tonight. So speaking of events, hopefully you have registered for your Super Saturday. The Super Saturdays or Super Sunday, depending on where you live. You can find that in the back office or the Coach Online office under events. So hopefully you will find one near you. I saw that Houston had Carl Deichler. I don't know if they've ever had Carl Deichler ever. Dallas is on Sunday and has Jeff Hill. And so it's just going to be a really exciting weekend. Lots of announcements, lots of exciting news. I think that they'll probably announce the trip, like where the trip's going to be for next year, which is super exciting, and as well as other things. So that should be a lot of fun. So anyway, if you have not, go ahead and mute your line. I can hear some typing, and that would be super helpful. Next on our list is All Access. Y'all, this came at us so fast. We didn't really know this was going to happen. And then all of a sudden we were like, oh, everyone, we have like crazy, we're kind of changing gears, right? I mean, we've been for so long doing like the All Access, doing the challenge packs, and we knew how to do challenge packs, and we always were looking forward to what was the new challenge pack for that year and what was going on, and we didn't, that was kind of our focus. Well, now everything's kind of shifted, and really, there's no reason for someone to buy a challenge pack at this point when they can get such a great deal with the All Access. For $199, they can get a full year of Beachbody On Demand with every Beachbody program that's ever been launched, and any program that's coming out in 2017. And I know there's a lot of programs coming out. Heard about a new size workout coming out soon. So I know that they're constantly coming out with new programs. So that's very, very exciting. So that makes me very excited to know that, and hopefully you guys are very excited about that as well. The other thing that I was really excited about, let's see if someone else is on. Test, muting your line. So we're very excited about this, but I know a lot of people are like, okay, now what does that mean for me as far as like, how do I promote this? Because this is so different than what we've done before. And so it can kind of be a little bit confusing. I was thinking about when I used to have a gym membership, and I would go around. I want to talk about what the difference is in buying a challenge pack, other than them just doing the $99 for the Beachbody On Demand. And here's the deal. I paid, I think, $100 and something a month to be a member of Lifetime Fitness for a long time. And I would go, I'd drop off my kids. They would immediately get sick. They would catch something. And then I would go up and I'd work out, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how to do the equipment. I didn't know, how to properly do the, even the treadmill. The classes, some of the classes intimidated me as I looked around. I mean, it was just like so confusing. So as I was thinking about the difference in a challenge pack, so to me, in some ways, just buying the All Access Pass to me is kind of like having a gym membership, right? Some people love that. They love walking around aimlessly and not knowing what they're doing and just picking a program, going whatever. The thing about Beachbody programs that are so amazing is that our programs have a rhyme and reason to them, right? So, you know, people will go to these, maybe they go to a Turbo Kit class, let's say, and maybe they go 3 times a week. Well, maybe they needed to go 5 days a week to get the full benefit, right? But maybe, you know, they were kept going to these classes and didn't see any results. And why? It's because they weren't consistent and they didn't have a nutrition plan, right? And so with these, that's what makes us different. This is not like just Netflix, like, hey, sign up for a subscription and see ya. This is, hey, let's get you started. What program are you going to do? Because we want them to have really good results. And so it's going to be, hey, once you sign up for All Access, I want to have a call with you and talk to you about which program might be a good fit for you to start off with. The other thing about Shakeology, it's going to help their nutrition. And so much of it is nutrition. I mean, I've watched people work hours and hours at the gym and have no change physically, right? And so the key ingredient is nutrition, and there's no better way to do that than Shakeology. My brother is a food Nazi. He was talking to me about that the other day, and he said, without a doubt, Shakeology is great for those that need a little boost for their nutrition, because, you know, especially our family coming from loving chicken fried steak and chicken biscuits and pizza, like, it is definitely a needed thing. So, and I'm so excited about this. And so I think that's going to kind of help us translate those people that want to just be, you know, just like, well, I just want the $99. Well, this is why it's important. Shakeology is such a great thing. And there's a money back, bottom of the bag guarantee. So if they don't like it, they can send it back and get their money back. And Shakeology is like 100. I don't know if they get like 130 back or they get like the, you know, $100 back, whatever. But they get their Shakeology, they get their money back if they don't want Shakeology. So I think it's a great program. I'm super excited about this. I'm super excited about how we're going to evolve this and help people. And it's just kind of the sky's the limit. I've had more buzz about this than any program, any launch we've ever had. More buzz about this, more private messages from people than I ever have had. People signing up automatically without me having to talk to them about it, because it is such a good deal. Again, if you have Beachbody On Demand already, and want to upgrade, you can do that in the file section of the Beachbody Rockstars page. I have all the instructions of how to upgrade, more information, what the FAQ is. So go there so you can find more information, okay? So if you paid $40, like say in December, for your Beachbody On Demand, you can upgrade and they'll only charge you the $60 to $59 something plus tax or whatever. Okay, so that is a great deal. Plus, you get all access. Now, have there been glitches? Yes. Has it taken a little bit longer than we had hoped to get these people upgraded? Yes. Please be patient. I got an email and I posted it. They had like 400% more inquiries than they expected. So it's just taking a little bit longer. So please apologize to all your customers about that. I think they unlocked all the programs is what I read. But I know something like mine was kind of messed up. Anyway, so I don't know how y'all's is, but just be patient. This is, just one of those things when there's high demand, it's kind of like everyone wants the new latest and greatest. So very, very excited. So one of the great ways to get people excited and started is with the Health Bet. It starts on the 9th, is on Monday. And just like the last Health Bet, they have to log in their workouts 3 times and then drink their Shakeology and log it in with a photo 5 times every week. So for 4 weeks straight. Okay, so that's very, very exciting. And so we are going to have a challenge group just for coaches. It's going to be on the Facebook page, and so we're going to have a just coach only challenge group, okay? And that's just a great place. As coaches, we need to be coached too. We need to encourage each other. And sometimes when you're the one leading, you just get tired, and sometimes you just need some extra encouragement from other coaches. So we will be having a health bet group, challenge group on January 9th. However, we will not have a health bet app, okay? We will not have the app. So if you want to do the actual health bet, you need to have your own group or add to your uplines group, okay? So we will not have a combined app health bet group, but we will have a combined health bet challenge group on Facebook, okay? That's gonna be a great place to share ideas, share your sweaty photos, encourage each other like we did for the launch of Quarter Force. So I'm very excited about that because I think that'll be really fun for all of us. All right, so let's talk about goal setting, because with the New Year's resolutions, what happens, right? Everyone's all about New Year's resolutions, goal setting, that sort of thing. So today was kind of funny because I asked my kids in the car separately. We had all these doctor's appointments today, and was with one of them, and I said, what do you have goals this year? And he's like, no, I don't really have to do goals. And the other one's like, no, I don't really do goals. And so we started talking about it. He's like, well, I did do goals last year, and he talked about how he did, certain goals and he achieved them. And he's like, that was really cool. And then my other son's like, oh, no, I don't have goals. And so he said, I think they're kind of done, because they never happen. Like no one ever achieves the goals, the New Year's resolutions they set out. And I said, well, why do you think that? And so as we talked about it, I said, the reason that most people don't achieve their goals or their resolutions is because they don't come up with a plan, right? Like a plan that they can actually stick with. And so that's just something very interesting, because what my younger son did is he set some goals to, like, let's say, to make the basketball team. In order to achieve that, he met with a private coach. He went and practiced every time he could, and he had a plan to make that happen, right? In order to make the team. He made the team, right? Because he had a set goal of how to do that. It wasn't like, hey, I want to make the team. He goes out for the team and he makes it, right? He had to go to a specific coach. He had to get special training. He would go every day after school and practice shooting. And he had things that he did over time so that he could make the team. So it's the same thing for our business and for our fitness, right? So it's kind of cool that our business and our fitness are kind of similar when we're setting goals and with our customers setting goals. And so I think one of the cool things for our customers is to kind of help them with that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but I want to talk about setting goals. Now, some of us are going to, one of the things I've done for Elite for all these years is I have a goal of hitting Success Club. And so I have a goal of hitting Success Club. I have a goal of having 2 to 4 of my coaches hit Success Club. I have a goal of 2 to 4 of my coaches signing up new coaches. And then I have a goal of 4 to 6 of my coaches that I signed up last year or this year to hit Elite. 4 to 6 of my personally sponsored coaches to hit Success Club. Okay, so it's just kind of a formula that I came up with, and every month I track it. So maybe you guys can start setting your income goals. Like sometimes we want to set income goals, and so we were like, okay, now how do you make a certain amount of money? Well, this was something that Amber and I came up with the other day, and Joy was part of that conversation as well. If you help 3 people a month with this Beachbody All Access, and if you did that every month and all your people stayed on Home Direct, which we hope that they do, and we want to make sure that they stick with it and they drink it and follow up with them, and you want them to have a good experience. So this is income progression without people canceling and without cycle bonuses. Okay, so that's without you even building a team. So if you helped 3 people a month, which would get you Success Club 6, right? No, 9 right now, because they give you extra ones. 3 times 3 is 9. So Success Club 5, right? You help 3 people. This is how much money you would make each month, including the residual income that would come into play. Okay? So that's pretty good. At the end of December, you could be making $853 a month. Okay, that's pretty awesome. One of my coaches this year, she increased her income by $120,000. So she said one of the things that she did is she rank advanced, and there was different things she did, but one of the things that she did is she upped her pace. So instead of being okay with just hitting Success Club 5 and moving on, she upped her own personal Success Club. So therefore, she was helping more people. Then she was able to convert more people to coaches, and then those people become diamonds and that sort of thing, right? So if you look at that, what if you helped 5 people a month? Every month you helped 5 people. Those 5 people stayed on Home Direct. You would be making about $1,400 at the end for the month. Okay, so this is for the month. If everyone stayed on Home Direct and you just kept helping 5 people every single month. Okay. Now let's look at what it would look like if you helped 7 people a month. And I know you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can help 7 people every month. Hey, it's a goal. And at the end of December, you would be making like close to $2,000 a month, y'all, if you helped 7 people. So it just like exponentially grows that much more if you're helping more people. I know when the challenge packs first came out, one of the things that we talked about was having a goal of helping 5 people a month. And now I feel the last couple of years, we're like, just get 5 points, right? We're just like, just get 5 points. But really, it's really helping at least 5 people a month. You can see how much your income can grow by just helping that many more people. And a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, that's easy for you to say, Stephanie, whatever. It's not easy for me to say. It's hard, but I know what this means is talking to a lot of people, meeting a lot of people, making friends with a lot of people, helping people have a really, really good experience as challengers. So let's talk a little bit about goal setting. I love this. This is from the 12-week year that hopefully most of you are listening to or reading. And it said, at the end of the day, the only accountability that truly exists is self-accountability. The only person who can hold you accountable for anything is you. And to be successful, you must develop the mental honesty and courage to own your own thinking, actions, and results. A lot of times people think, well, if I'm just in an accountability group, then it'll happen for me. If I just get pushed enough, it'll happen for me. No, it's you being honest with yourself of what you've done well and what you can improve on. Every year at this time, that's what I do. I look at what I did the previous year. What did I do well at? And what did I stink at? And I have to be really honest with myself, because if I'm not honest with myself with what I didn't do and what I did wrong, then my business will continue to decline. But if I am honest with myself and take ownership for what I didn't do, and I totally do this, and this is not something I'm telling you to do that I don't do, but you can ask Meredith, I do this every year. I talk about what are some things I need to take ownership that I didn't do well at. So, when it takes you being committed, right? And there's 4 keys to successful commitments. And that first one is a strong desire, meaning enough to get you through the hard times and keep you on track. Because it's easy right now because it's January. And everyone wants to get healthy and they're excited about it. And even if they're not ready this month, come after Valentine's Day, they're going to be ready because they're thinking it's spring break and summer, and that's kind of the progression, right? But what happens in June when no one wants to do it and your kids are home and your schedule's off or whatever? That strong desire has to be meaningful enough to get you through those crazy times. You have to have such a strong desire that you're going to make it happen no matter what comes at you. Because things are going to come at you. They came at me this year, and it was tough. But my desire to help my coaches, to be an example, to be a leader, was stronger than those things that were coming at me. Okay? The next is to have keystone actions, and that's the core activities that account for the majority of results. So that's the things that I was talking about that I break up for my business. So I know I want to be 15-star by Summit. So I know that the industry average is to sign up 1 coach. For every 1 coach you sign up, for every 8 coaches you sign up, 1 coach will become a diamond. That's kind of like the industry average. Some people is higher than that, some people is lower. So I know I need to bring on a ton of coaches in order to make that happen by Summit. Okay? So I know that's a core activity, and then to help those people build is another. And so I have steps of how I do that. The next is to count the cost. So identifying the cost before you commit allows you to consciously choose whether or not you're willing to pay the price of your commitment. Now this means maybe less Netflix, less TV, less sleep. Maybe for short term when you're trying to hit a goal. This means maybe not going out with friends as much and staying home to work. Whatever it means, sometimes you have to know what the costs are and if you're willing to do that. Now, I know that I have to set boundaries for my business and that sort of thing. And so I know that there's certain things that I won't do. And so because I'm not willing to I'm at a slower pace because of that sometimes. And the fourth is to act on commitments, not feelings. What makes a champion is the discipline to do the extra things, especially when we don't feel like it. You know, a lot of us, you're going to have that time. Darren Hardy says that 95% of the work of doing something you're super passionate and you love, 95% of it sucks. But there's 5% of it that makes it totally worth it, right? And so like this last month when I was working really hard and getting people to sign up and I was, selling challenge packs and all that stuff, I was like, this is really hard. But at the end, like having all those people and helping all those people was totally, totally worth it. But the act of it was not very fun. And so if I was acting on my feelings of those days that I didn't feel like doing it, and there were those days, lots of those days. I remember one day I needed to do a call and I just like had to like mentally prepare. Like I was just like, okay, Stephanie, you can do it. I mean, I had to pull myself from the bootstraps, y'all. I mean, it was hard. And it was just one of those days I didn't feel like it. But I can't be based on feelings. And I know a lot of times people say, well, this is just not for me. What that's really translating to me a lot of times is why was it something for you 6 months ago that you were like, I'm so ready, this is me, I want to do this, and what changed now? It's probably because you realize it's hard and you're acting on feelings, those feelings of like, this is hard and it is not fun. Because sometimes it isn't fun to do something that is meaningful and worthwhile. And sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone. And so that's when your commitment should not be based on your feelings. A lot of times we're talking about why people fail, and one is they don't take their vision seriously. So like at the beginning, they don't see themselves as being successful and what that can do for them. And it's not meaningful to them. Like it's not so deep. Like sometimes, y'all know that there's customers that are like, I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay. And so you're like, great, I want to help you lose those 10 pounds. And then they like totally fall off, right? Or you tell them, maybe it's before that, they say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. And you're like, okay. So then you share with them the price and they're like, crickets, right? You hear those crickets and you're like, I thought you wanted to lose 10 pounds. Well, the 10 pounds didn't really mean that much to them, right? It wasn't that convicting. But then sometimes there's those people that come into you and say, I have to lose 10 pounds. I'm miserable in my skin. I'm ready to go. It was meaningful to them, right? And they're willing to spend whatever it is to get that weight off, So the other thing is your vision is too small. Sometimes we don't see that our vision, we're just like, well, I just want to, make $100. Well, what if you could make $1 million a year? What if you could change the face of your family? Like, is your vision too small because you're too scared to, try for something bigger? And then the other thing is you don't connect your vision to your daily actions. So I told my boys today, I go, you can't, the difference in why people fail at setting their goals is they say, I want to be a millionaire and I'm going to do it. I'm going to be a millionaire. But they don't have a plan of how they're going to do that, right? So a plan, saying that is just a dream. It's not a goal, right? It's not going to happen because you don't have a plan and you don't connect your vision. Like, I want to do this, so I know I need to do X, Y, Z every day in order to get to my goal. So one of the success tips that I have is to share with others what your goal is, so they know, like my family knows my goal. And then stay in touch with your vision. Look at that. If you need to write it somewhere to stay and stay, if you need to see it, do that. And then third is live with intention. And that's kind of hard in our day and age, right? Because sometimes we get lazy and we don't, but we have to be very, very focused on what we're doing and live with an intention if we're going to reach our goal. So let's talk about here's a sample goal of my goal of becoming a diamond coach. So I know if I'm gonna, if I am a diamond coach, I want to join an accountability group, right? Because we said accountability doesn't really, we talked about how accountability doesn't really, you have to own your own stuff, right? Accountability doesn't help, but it also helps when you share vision and you kind of keep yourself accountable, right? So first you join an accountability group on week 1, let's say. Then you find and form 21 friends per week. Then you invite 21 new friends to a challenge group each week. And that 3 times 7 is 3 people times 7 days, 3 people times 7 days. And then you get a business opportunity in front of 5 people per week. And then you follow up with invites every day. So I know if I want to be diamond, I figured out this is kind of a formula to help you get to diamond. It's not doesn't mean it's foolproof or whatever, and it has to do with who you talk to and how well you form them and all those things. But I know if this is a numbers business, and the more people you talk to in the right way, then the more people will come along. So if I have these certain tactics and I do them every week, then I know that I will become a diamond coach, right? So I want you to ask yourself, what actions will you struggle with of these tactics if you're trying to get to diamond coach? And then you also need to ask yourself when you're setting up tactics. So let's say you're setting up tactics to lose 10 pounds or whatever. And so let's say you're going to use the health bet. So to lose 10 pounds, I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. I'm going to post my Shakeology 5 times a week. And I'm only going to eat out 1 day a week. Let's say that's going to be your goals for losing 10 pounds. So what of those parts are you going to struggle with? And then what will you do to overcome those struggles? When you look at that before you get to those struggles, then you know when you start to have a struggle what you need to do. I think that's kind of a cool new way of thinking of it, is knowing that you're going to have struggles ahead of time instead of being like, oh, I can't believe I'm struggling, right? Know what your struggles are. And then the other thing is after your week is over, rate yourself each week. So how close did you get to your goal? Did you get 100%? Did you do all those tactics that you set out? Or did you only get 95%, or maybe 65, or maybe 15, whatever it was? Rate yourself for that week. Then move on. Go the next week and rate yourself. I think a lot of times, I know for me, I'm kind of a perfectionist. And so I have to do things like I'm firstborn, I have to follow the rules, right? So if I didn't do everything right that week, I'm like, I screwed up, I'm horrible, I'm just not going to do it, right? And so the cool concept about rating yourself each week is that you can rate yourself and go, you know what, I got at least 85%, right? That's better than 0. Because the old me would be like, if I didn't get 100%, if I didn't do it all, then I'm not going to do it. Well, if I'm allowing myself to say, you know what, I got 85%, that's pretty good this week. That makes a huge, huge difference. So I hope that helps you in setting your goals. And this week, I really want you to do a couple of things. I would love for you to, 1, attend Super Saturday or Super Sunday. And the next is to read the 12-week year, or go through Your Best Year Yet by Darren Hardy. I'm going to post that in the file section. It's a PDF I've been going through that's pretty cool. And then set up your own Health Bet Challenge on the Challenger app, but then also join our coach-only challenge group so you can be included in that. That's going to be really fun. And be ready for an epic year. So thank you guys for joining. Here's to our awesome let's see, where are we? Here's to our awesome 2017. I hope you guys are excited as I am. And here's to another great year for our team.